Hi guys, and welcome to another Jeremy Hunt of the Month. This week's candidate is a man who I blocked on social media because even I have limits to what I can tolerate. And for some reason the BBC live show thought it would be a good idea to have him on a panel. Matt Goodwin is a right-wing commentator and author who showed his true colours when asked about granting refugee status to a Palestinian child. This guy showed not just zero empathy, but complete contempt for the whole concept of refugees. Once again, I don't know why the BBC platforms such individuals.
We are talking about millions of Palestinians. We never make generalizations. And if we're talking about a population where half of whom are children, are you really saying to me a 10-year-old Palestinian who might be severely injured, who might need urgent medical treatment, is a threat to this country? I think we have counter-terrorism laws in this country to make sure that
why is a 10-year-old Palestinian going to be a threat?
I think, as I say, I think the underlying principle of taking more people into Britain from Palestine, from Gaza,
Palestinian child, not a single Palestinian child where you could save a life. What crime has a Palestinian child?
We can get very abstract about it.
It's not abstract. I'm giving you a very material reality.
I'm talking about children. We're talking about bringing children to reunite them with their families.
I'm not going to be bullied by liberal tears on this one, okay? I would say, how about neighbouring countries do a bit more?
I find that's an abhorrent statement.
Don't all talk over each other, Matt. Don't shout over everyone.
A little bit more, because you know what I care about? I care about the British Jewish community. How do they feel opening the door to more Palestinians, to people who are supportive of Hamas?
And
the downplaying of Hamas on this show, by the way, is outrageous. It's an extremist Islamist organisation. The marching, the expression of sympathy for Hamas in this country has been outrageous. And I would expect Labour, after everything you went through with Jeremy Corbyn, just to be a little bit more sensitive on this issue and stick up for British.
Well, let Rachel speak.
Okay. We are talking about children coming to this country, children who have got nothing. They have been moved from place to place in Gaza at the moment. They are coming to be with their mother or their father who are here in the UK. A very limited scheme for a short period of time until the horrific bombing of Gaza comes to an end. These are innocent civilians. These aren't people who are terrorists. These are people that want to be with their mummy and daddy and to have some sort of life. And I'm afraid that is the reality of what we are asking for.
Right,
What an absolute ghoul this guy is. An absolute ghoul. Completely inhumane. We're talking about freaking children. We're talking about children who are escaping a war zone. We're talking about children who may be coming to Britain for medical treatment, for some respite from a disaster that they're living at the moment. Doesn't matter which side you're on when it comes to this debate, Palestine-Israel. We're talking about innocent civilians, children, coming to Britain to escape that. And this guy's response is, no, zero. We want zero. No, not one child. Doesn't matter if it's for medical treatment. Doesn't matter what it's for. We want zero in. I want to plant my flag here on this right-wing section of land to say, no, this is it. This is where I am, and I represent, the extremes in society. Once again, I've mentioned this before about this guy. I don't know whether he actually believes these things or it's just pandering. It's grandstanding. Either way, it's disgraceful, showing absolute zero empathy for people who are in a frigging war zone at the moment. Why did the BBC invite people like this on? What does he add to the discussion? Just takes away from the discussion. It's like Farage and people from Tufton Street and everything. Why are these people invited on? They add nothing. Unless he believes he represents a significant section of society who believes no refugees should be brought in whatsoever. And he noticed that he mentioned two things as well. He brought up Jeremy Corbyn, of course. Of course, if somebody from Labour is there, you break glass and bring out Jeremy Corbyn. And the other, of course, was, well, the other countries should take more. In the same way as you hear the same rhetoric when it comes to people crossing the channel. They should stay in France. France is a safe country. Of course, we know that France take in much more asylum seekers than Britain does. And we're talking about people, when it comes to the channel crossings, people who don't want to stay in France. They want to get to Britain. But back to this. We're talking about children for a limited amount of time who want to be out of a war zone, in some cases to receive medical treatment, to have some peace and quiet for a few months, away from a disaster, away from a situation where maybe they have lost parents or loved ones. And this guy's response is, no, Never. Not one. I don't know what else to say here. What else can we say about people like this? Does he have children of his own? I don't know. I haven't bothered to check. Doesn't really matter. I presume he would be happy with, if he was in a situation where, for example, there was a war going on in Britain and he had to flee, he would be happy for some commentator in a country that he was fleeing to were to say, no, we don't want Matt Goodwin and his children. We're full up. He has to stay where he is. I'm sure he'd be happy with that. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.